Okay guys, I've been on a little break from reviewing any movies, but I have been putting out videos. So today I'll be reviewing Resident Evil Retribution, the second to last Paul W.S. Anderson / Mila Jovovich movie for Resident Evil. So yeah, I really think this movie is underrated, so here's my review. So, as I said, I think this movie is underrated, and this movie is probably the third to worst, which is not saying much considering there's 7 of these movies and I love all of them, besides the later one, which I'll tell you about. It's not the final chapter, surprisingly. And yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. I thought the characters brought back were good, or they were decent. I thought that this was the worst role of Alice that Mila Jovovich did, and I'm not saying that it's bad because I still really enjoyed it. So, yeah, let's get into the pros and the cons. The first pro I have with this movie is that the return of Jill and Carlos and Rain and those characters returning as bad guys for Umbrella. I thought that was a really smart move on the hand of them, because it would have been really dumb if they tried to add another character as a villain when we already have gotten Wesker, and we've already gotten Axeman based off 5, all that stuff. So, we don't need another villain, plus the 7 we already have. So I think that was a good move on Paul W.S. Anderson's hands. So, yeah, the returning characters are good. Another pro I have with this movie is the fight scenes. I think these are some of the top 3 fight scenes out of the whole series. Yeah, I think the ending fight scene, the boss fight scene, was really good. It was fun to watch. I think that, the fight scene at the start against Ada Wong was a short one, but we got introduced to Ada Wong, so it was really cool. The Axeman fight scene, reusing the same music from Afterlife. Oh, that was so good. I love that scene where they're like fighting in the Tokyo arena, I call it. The 2 Axemen come up and Ada fight. Ada's so weak compared to Alice. So, yeah. Another pro I have with this movie is the music. I think the music was great in this movie. It wasn't as good as Afterlife. I think Afterlife actually has the best score, easily the best soundtrack out of the whole entire franchise. I'll even put up some videos about that later. But, yeah, I think that this has a really good soundtrack, especially the opening, like Flying Through the Air, I think is what it's called. That one is really good. Or, like, just listening to that when I'm playing the Mercenaries is so good. I think that it's really calming and relaxing, and it's just cool music. I also like the set pieces they add. They add different places like Tokyo, and they have this big Iceland, and they have this land they go for like 30 seconds, which I don't really remember. And yeah, so those were some good moves. I think that easily the best land on here is Tokyo, because all the others are barely shown. And, so, yeah, Tokyo also kind of fits with Ada Wong, so that looked really cool when she was fighting in Tokyo. Another pro I have with this movie is Wesker. I think he's not shown too much in this movie, and that really helps it, because we don't want this Wesker actor to be in the movie for a long time. We all know that he's not the best. So, yeah, I think that was just a point in and of itself. So now moving on to the cons, I think that Ada Wong in this movie is really underutilized, and they destroy her character in this movie. She's not that cool person you see in the 2nd, 4th game. She's not anything like that. She's just this random girl that seems to be almost as good as Alice at fighting, that literally does nothing, which I think that kind of ruined the movie a little bit. Yeah, there's one of the cons. Another con I have is the group that comes in, the rescue team, especially Leon. I think they were horribly miscast, and Yeah, Leon specifically, he's just a horrible version of the character. He's not like Leon at all. He's like this. He's more like Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 5, mixed with Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 5, and it's just like it's not cool. He's really he thinks they try to act like Leon so much, but all you see is just this man with a beard with this dirty haircut, goofy haircut. Thinks he looks cool. Another con I have with this movie is the acting. Some of the acting in this movie is just garbage. Like, I think this is the worst portrayal of Alice. Ada Wong, obviously, the whole rescue team, but specifically Leon, is just bad. I think all the returning characters from the first and second movie are actually really cool. So that's good acting, but everything else is just like trash. So yeah, that is most of the review for Resident Evil Retribution. Now, if I was to give this a meter from 1 to 100, the LC meter, I would give this a 68%. I think that fits well because some of the acting, the characters, and it's kind of cheesy. That's all trash, but everything else is still fine and enjoyable. It's still a really fun movie to watch. It's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix and you want to watch specifically the first one, Apocalypse, Afterlife, and Retribution, then go to Netflix and you can watch those. But that is my review for Resident Evil Retribution, so hope you enjoyed, and bye.